Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what food or drink sucks even if most people won't admit it? Red delicious apples. They're red, sure, but they are not delicious. Edit: seems like Fuji and Hoey Crisp are favorites. Guess I'll have to find a Hoey Crisp apple and give it a try sometime. Edit 2, adding pink lady apples as well to the list. And galas and envy. Edit 3, till Reddit has very strong opinions about apples. They are so damn mealy and they taste like wet sand. I feel like 50 years ago the name was probably true. But my god, it has all of the worst traits an apple can have. Gluten-free bread. I actually have celiac disease and I eat gluten-free bread only a handful of times per year because it's so lousy. I was never a big bread person anyway, so it wasn't hard for me to give that up. Luckily there's pretty good substitutes for most other things, but gluten-free bread is not good, and if you eat it when you don't actually need to be gluten-free, you're nuts. Same. I have celiac and I would rather just go without bread than eat the GF stuff. However, there have been major improvements since my 2010 diagnosis. For people saying artificial cherry flavor reminds them of cough syrup, it's interesting how this tilde is giraciol tilde changes by decade. My wife hates artificial cherry got this reason, and I don't. But I hate artificial orange / citrus for this reason and she doesn't. Edited, y'all are terrible lol. Edit 2, so I asked my wife to make sure and her perspective was she hated cherry and cherry was her IATIS flavor, but she said grape was the IATIS flavor and not orange like I thought as a IATIS youth. This made me ask my mom and she said my stuff was orange flavored, but also I always got the prescription meds from the hospital because of my asthma. Not over the counter, which was grape. Mom was a nurse, so I'm going to believe it, but do your own research lol. People in the comments saying root beer in other countries is super interesting. It's artificial grape flavor for cough syrup reasons for me. I sincerely believe the people who make grape flavored cough syrup have never tasted a grape in their entire lives. If you want candy that has good real citrus flavor, get Lemonades. I found out they still make it with real lemon juice. Those candies are addictive. One of a select few foods that actually gets better when it gets stale, all chewy and crumbly. Y'all ain't playing right. It says even if most people won't admit it, but then you are listing things that most people would agree is gross. SMH. But I have to throw this out there, because even though I cannot believe someone thought this was a good idea, the entire bag disappeared at our lake house this year, so everyone else but me seemed to like them. The new Oreos with Pop Rocks in them. WTF. And I didn't know until it was in my mouth, just thought they were red, white and blue, for the Olympics, but normal flavored. I didn't expect fireworks in my mouth. And somehow it was worse that they weren't flavored. No. Just no. They need a much bigger warning label. Spicy Oreos. Carbonated milk. https://u2.be. As someone who finished the whole package in one night, I really got to agree with you. Now I'm a sob who loves Oreos and I try every new style I see, but those ones I will not buy again. The popping hampered my ability to taste the Oreo and I didn't get any of the tasty Pop Rocks flavor. So to me it ruined both for no gain. I'm real glad they keep trying though. I really enjoyed the salted caramel brownie recently. But you ate the whole package still. The healthy version of things. I don't mean actual healthy food, but the things that are all here is some ice cream with all the joy, soul, deliciousness, and sugar removed. Yes, I would much rather only occasionally eat something as a treat than swap it for a healthier version that only just tastes enough like the original that people can convince themselves it's basically the same. Fat and salt and sugar are essential to so many flavors that cannot be replicated without them. My problem is that the healthy versions aren't even healthy a lot of the time. Okay, this has less sugar, but one serving has 65% of the saturated fat I'm supposed to eat today. There's something so human about taking something great and ruining it a little so you can have more of it. Michael talking about Froyo. Okay, so all of us who haven't watched The Good Place are going to have to Google this quote to make sure we haven't missed some bizarro world episode of The Office. I think people are starting to figure this out, but red delicious apples. They are bitter, mealy texture garbage and the worst tasting apple. Hoey Crisp and never going back. I grow apples in our backyard in Wisconsin, and we have these 2 apple trees that grow ghost white apples. I believe they are the White Cloud variety, and Cortland's red ones. These are fresh off the tree, the white ones are already mature and I picked some to enjoy in my room. Here's an interesting apple fact for you. Every pip, seed, within an apple is genetically different from the tree it came from. Humans found out ways to clone the parent by grafting branches to each other. But every apple seed inside the apple is each genetically different, so if you plant a Honeycrisp pip it'll be an entirely different apple. You have to graft from a parent Honeycrisp tree to get another Honeycrisp tree. Nature's diversity in apples is amazing. New varieties of apples grow in nature here in Wisconsin, and the number of variety is astonishing. My nerd obsession and passion is nuclear weapons, but fruit has tons of interesting info too. And another fruit fact for you is this. The original citrus species was pomelo, citron, mandarin and papeda. All the lemons, limes, oranges, and others you see today are hybrids. Grapefruit is a hybrid too. Bro, try the Cosmic Crisp. It's like Honeycrisp on steroids. Turkish Delight was not worth 3 human lives. Edit, I live in America so maybe it tastes better in Europe, but I don't live there and I'm not about to make it by hand right now at least. I once read that it made more sense due to the rationing that had gone on during the war. Sugar was in short supply, so anything sweet might have been much more appetizing than it normally would have been. It was also magic, addictive Turkish Delight. The fact that sugar was rationed means that there was no chance of Edmund refusing that first bite. Not just because of rationing. Old-timey food in general just wasn't that great compared to what we have now, mostly because our food is usually loaded with salt, sugar and added flavoring. Of all the things Edmund could have sold out his family for. Fucking Edmund, what a twat. Never forgiven that little prick. Jack Daniels. It's obviously a popular whiskey, but it's honestly fucking awful. Edit, even with Coke or any other mixer I think is still a bit rough. It's the Budweiser of whiskeys. I don't hate on people who love it, though you like what you like. Agreed, I can't stand the you shouldn't like what I don't like mindset. Snobbishness aside, people have individual body chemistry, and we each taste in a unique manner. Play-Doh. I switched to crayons back in January. Ever since I've been broke as shit. Semper Fi. Anything with stevia in it. I was doing keto and tried doing the stevia sweetener for the occasional treat. Yeah, sure things tasted sweet, but then there's this soapy artificial taste that I have never been able to get used to. Bull. Edit, holy crap. I guess I hit a nerve. Thanks for the awards, I don't know what they do. For what it's worth, all artificial sweeteners taste awful to me, but stevia is the worst of them all. I get headaches and an itchy tongue from some of the others like erythritol. I suspect this is a genetic thing like cilantro. I can totally understand what you're saying, but I have no problem with stevia. Maybe that's the issue. I have the cilantro soap gene and can taste the slightest trace of stevia in anything, and it's disgusting. Anything with even a hint of stevia is noticeable to me and it's absolutely disgusting. Any food that pretends to be another food. It's never good. I have friends that act like they can't tell the difference between rice and cauliflower rice, and I know it's make-believe. There is no way they can't taste the difference. I'm like this with almost any substitute. Just call it what it is and roll with it, because I'm skeptical of all of them at this point. I like cauliflower rice. I like rice. They are both good, but they do not look, smell, taste, or feel the same. I second this. I eat it because I enjoy spooning cauliflower more than eating the whole floret. But it does not taste like rice, at all. I can tell the difference between butter and I can't believe it's not butter. No, you can't, Mr. Simpson, no one can. Fondant. Every wedding I've ever been to, they've paid hundreds for a shit fruit cake draped in 3 inches of shit fondant. I cannot believe it is still so popular. Here's what we did for our wedding cake. We got a regular size cake, a nice and light lemon cake, for cutting and pictures, also no fondant, it was good to eat too. Then we also ordered a bunch of minis. Like tarts, different flavors of mini cheesecake, stuffed with chocolate. Everyone got something they like, and no fondant in sight. Food so spicy you can't actually taste it. Spice for the sake of spice, and no care for flavor is boots. Yep. I find that a lot of stuff that boasts about heat just doesn't taste particularly good. There's more to spicy food than causing pain. I grew up in New Mexico and the food here is incredible. We still get some pain flavor stuff, but it's mostly actually very tasty spicy food. I moved to Oregon for a bit and was missing spicy food, so my husband and I ordered drunken noodles extra spicy. They basically emptied an entire container of red pepper flakes into our food. It was completely inedible. Edit, thanks for all the NM food love. Also it's spelled chili. But I love you all anyway. Lol, Thai heat is a different type of heat. I grew up on Mexican food and can handle a lot of spice and still order mild/medium anytime I get Thai. They do not play around.